In Rome, Georgia, 19-year-old Caden McBride follows a routine that reflects a broader sentiment emerging among a segment of American voters. After finishing his classes, he returns home and spends hours reviewing documents related to Jeffrey Epstein, files released by the U.S. Department of Justice, DOJ. These materials, ranging from flight logs and transcripts to images and videos, have provided deeper insight into Epstein's criminal network and his connections with influential figures. Despite shifting global headlines, including tensions surrounding Iran, McBride remains focused on what he believes is an unresolved issue of accountability. Speaking from a personal and moral standpoint, he describes the contents of the files as deeply disturbing and emphasizes the importance of acknowledging victims' experiences. His views, however, also reflect a growing frustration with political leadership, particularly with Donald Trump and figures associated with his administration. Once a strong supporter of Trump and the Make America Great Again MAGA movement, McBride says he believed the movement stood for exposing corruption within powerful institutions. But delays in the full release of Epstein-related files and what he perceives as insufficient accountability have led to disappointment. Criticism has been especially directed at Pam Bondi, who recently left her position. Although Trump publicly praised her performance, her departure has been welcomed by some supporters who hope for renewed focus on the Epstein investigation under interim leadership. The issue regained national attention when Melania Trump publicly distanced herself from Epstein and called for a congressional hearing for victims. However, whether this will translate into sustained political action remains uncertain. The Epstein case has long been central to conspiracy narratives among segments of Trump's support base. Many believe Epstein's death in prison was not a suicide, contrary to the FBI's findings, and suspect a broader cover-up involving powerful individuals. These concerns have been echoed by prominent figures, including J.D. Vance and Marjorie Taylor Greene, who have previously questioned the lack of transparency surrounding Epstein's network. During his 2024 campaign, Trump pledged to move toward greater disclosure of Epstein-related documents. However, his stance appeared to shift after returning to office, creating tensions within his political base. Following pressure from both victims and members of his own party, legislation was eventually signed compelling the DOJ to release thousands of documents. Despite official statements that all releasable materials have now been made public, skepticism persists. Polling data suggests that a notable minority of Trump voters believe there may still be a cover-up, highlighting a rare point of vulnerability for a leader typically resilient to political backlash. Analysts suggest that the Epstein controversy may have a disproportionate impact on younger voters, particularly those drawn to anti-establishment messaging and promises of transparency. Concerns have been raised that unmet expectations could erode trust within this demographic. Trump has consistently denied any wrongdoing related to Epstein, though their past association continues to attract scrutiny. His name appears multiple times in released documents, primarily in correspondence linked to Epstein's network. Commentators argue that the broader narrative surrounding Epstein challenges one of the core appeals of the MAGA movement, that it would expose hidden corruption. For some supporters, that promise now appears unfulfilled. While new leadership at the DOJ has sparked hope among activists for further disclosures, it remains unclear whether the Epstein case will maintain political momentum amid competing national and international issues. At recent conservative gatherings such as CAC, the topic continues to resonate with attendees, underscoring its significance within certain voter groups. Some supporters now openly express feelings of betrayal, while others question their future political engagement altogether. For McBride, the shift is deeply personal. Although he intends to remain politically active, he says his support will no longer extend to candidates associated with individuals named in the Epstein files or those closely aligned with Trump. His stance reflects a broader question facing the movement, whether the demand for accountability can coexist with political loyalty or whether it will continue to drive a wedge within its own ranks.